have had some questions on my YouTube channel that my birds have stopped laying. What could be the problem? And yet they have been laying. And others are saying that I have kept my birds for over 8 months and have not seen an egg. What could be the problem? Well, in today's video, I'll be giving you reasons why your hens are not laying. So guys, you stick around. My name is Jacob, a passionate farmer about poultry keeping. On this channel, we talk about poultry farming in general. We talk about the layers, broilers, the local chicken, in fact, any kind of poultry, you will find it on this channel. So if you have been one of the people that have been looking for channels that can teach you on how you can run a poultry farm successfully, then you're in the right area. But before, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you'll never miss out in case I upload any new video. So like I said earlier, in today's video, we are going to be talking about why your hens stop laying or why your hens are not laying. But as you can see, the sun is very bright. It's a bright morning at a poultry farm here, and I'm going to go inside so that I can list for you the things that are preventing your birds from laying. So guys, we are inside our poultry structure. I think you guys can see the birds happily eating, and right over here you can see the drinker. Very clean, very clean. That's why I've been emphasizing that on every morning you should wash your drinkers and then give your birds clean water. Take a look guys, very clean. And if I turn right over here, you can see our chicks, perfect chicks. They are doing very well. Take a look guys. And another birds are over there on the other cage. So guys, that's a quick look at our birds. So guys, let's jump in today's topic of the episode. Why are my birds not giving me eggs? Or why have my birds stopped laying? What could be the problem? Are you wondering? Stop wondering, because in today's video I'll be covering all the things that you have been wondering why your birds have stopped laying or why your birds are not laying. Number one thing is the age of your birds. Yeah, the age of your birds. When it comes to the laying of the eggs, these birds are all different. Let me say the broilers, the layers, or the local chicken. All these are different kind of birds, much as they are all poultry birds. Even if the guinea fowl, the ducks, they're all different. So they have that specific age. They have that age whereby if they reach that age, that's when they can give you the eggs. For instance, if you're doing layer birds, you must expect your birds to start giving you eggs at week 18. At week 18, you must now be prepared to receive an egg from your birds. But other birds may go up to 18, 17, 18, 19 weeks of giving you eggs. So that one also depends on the age of the bird. I cannot say that a layer bird at week 14 can now give you eggs. No, they cannot give you eggs because they have not yet reached that level, or they are not yet matured of giving you the eggs or of making the eggs inside them. So guys, the age of the bird really matters a lot. Like in the local chicken, this local chicken lay depending on how the bird is. I cannot say that all the local chicken can start laying after 6 or 5 months. No, there are those other birds which you can keep them up to 8 months without even laying. So these birds are all different depending on the type of the bird. In fact, depending on the age of the bird. So guys, make sure that you understand your birds very well, very well. And if you understand your birds, like when now your birds can give you eggs, then you will not be disturbed by overthinking that when are my birds going to give me eggs, because you will be knowing the exact day or the exact month which your birds are going to give you the eggs. On top of the age of the birds, there are other people out there who think that when a bird starts laying, it will lay like that up to maybe 5 years or 6 years. No, these are birds, just like human beings. You know, there is that production peak whereby if a person reaches like 20 years, the person is now able to actually give birth. And from 20 to 30, you can give birth like every year if you want. And from 30 to 40, you can give birth, but not as in your early 20s or your late 20s. And if you now clock 50 years, you cannot produce the same way you would have produced when you were in the 20s. So you must get it right that all these birds that you're actually seeing, they also go through all that cycles. There is that cycle whereby they will be very, very productive. And there are also those times where their production will really, really low down. So you must also master this. And this is more especially to poultry farmers who are doing layer birds. Because layer birds, they are supposed to give you eggs every day for 2 years. But within those 2 years, the first 1 year, the production will be at the peak. And then in the second year, the production will really, really low down. So you must also understand that situation. The older your birds are, the lesser the eggs they will give to you. Number 2 is the breed of the bird. The breed of the birds also contributes so much in the production of eggs into your poultry farm. Like for instance, in the layer birds, we have very many types of layers. The Isa Brown and many other more. So guys, all these type of breeds do not give the same number of eggs from the birds. The number of the eggs these birds produce are all different. I cannot say that my local birds over here lay very many birds compared to the layer birds. No, they cannot lay very many eggs because their purpose is not to lay eggs actually. But the layer birds are specifically meant to lay eggs, just as you can hear from their name, layers. So they are meant to lay eggs. And more so on that, the type of the breeds matters so much. You can bring a layer bird, but a poor breed inside your poultry farm, and you will be expecting very many eggs, and at the end you will be getting least eggs. This is because of the breed that you brought inside your poultry farm was a poor breed. Let me first try to show you guys from my local birds over here. Other birds have gone outside to eat, but let me first try to show you a bit of demonstration. You can see this hen over here. This hen is bigger than that one over here, which was pecked on. But in terms of egg production, this small hen over here lays way more eggs compared to the big hen. That's how it is in the local chicken. The next thing that is preventing your birds from laying is the feeds that you give to your birds. The feeds that you give to your birds can also prevent your birds from laying. Let me give you a scenario which happened to a fellow farmer, my fellow farmer, who was doing local chicken. This guy didn't know anything much about keeping birds. This guy would just go in the market and then buy maize and bring it just like that and then give it to the birds. These birds could eat the maize. You know, maize is just like carbohydrates. Maize is carbohydrates, which only supplies energy to the birds. And after 2 months, this guy wasn't seeing any kind of egg, much as his birds were now able to lay. The birds were now big. They were mature enough to start laying, but they were not laying. So he came to me and then asked me that his birds are not laying. What could be the problem? I started with the feeds that he was giving his birds. He told me that he was giving only maize to his birds, which is a source of energy to the birds. Remember, birds which are laying really need a lot of proteins. A lot of proteins. That way they can give you more eggs. What I told him is that he should now look for another source of feeds, like more proteins should be in his feeds, and then give it to his birds. This guy went and got fish meal and then grinded the maize and then mixed with it. After 2 days, this guy was having very many eggs on his poultry farm. And that brings me to say that the feeds that you give to your birds should be the right feeds for the birds. Like in layer birds, you must give the feeds for the layer birds at the right age. Yeah, do not just give any kind of feeds to your birds. Make sure that you give the right type of feeds to your birds. Remember, even if you're buying, you better buy the feeds other than giving them poor quality feeds, which at the end you are getting zero profit from your venture. If you can go for the ready-made feeds from the market, then it's fine. Go and buy them and then use them on your poultry farm. And if not, then I've made a video where I have talked so much on mixing your poultry feeds right from day one or right from the scratch up to the finishing level, where I talked very much on the ingredients which are used in mixing the poultry feeds, the nutrients in the ingredients, the purpose of the nutrients in the ingredients. I've talked anything about mixing the poultry feed. There are 3 videos, so go and watch all the videos. That way mixing your poultry feeds won't be any problem at all. Number 3 is water. I know it sounds very awkward, but yeah, it's water. Guys, make sure that you have enough water inside your poultry farm. Make sure that you don't run shortage of water inside your poultry farm. You rather run shortage of feeds than water, because without feeds the birds can still survive on the water alone, but with feeds without water, no, your birds can't survive. Of course they will suffocate. They will eat the feeds and then there will be nothing to actually transport the feeds that they have eaten inside their body. So guys, make sure that you have enough clean water inside your poultry farm. How is this connected to the formation of eggs? Yeah, it is connected. As we all know, you can see something like this. This is what we call an egg. If I've not forgotten, an egg is between 60 to 75% full of water. Full of water, which means that water is very, very helpful in the formation of an egg. And guys, don't let it just be ordinary water or dirty water. Make sure it is clean. These are birds. The same way you would treat yourself should be the same way you should treat these birds, because this is an investment. This is an investment and you should not just let it like that. Make sure that you give them good things as well, so that at the end they can also give you good cash as well. So give them clean water. Make sure that the water that you give to your birds is very clean. That's why in one of my videos I say that if you are looking for a location of your poultry farm, make sure that there is a steady flow of water in the near place or in the near farm. Before we move further, if up to now you have not yet subscribed to the channel, then guys, you are really going to miss a lot of good things from this channel. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. That way you can be one of the family members in this awesome YouTube channel. And if you always find the content that I'm giving you is good content to you, like the video. And what I've noticed is that most of you guys come and watch my videos without liking them, but in this particular video, like the video. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you'll never miss out in case I upload any new video, of course, about poultry farming. The next thing that is preventing your birds from laying is illness or diseases. When a disease breaks out on your poultry farm, of course the production is likely to drop. Yeah, because the energy that these birds should use in the production of eggs will be now gone to fight this kind of disease. So the illness or diseases on your poultry farm can also reduce the production of eggs inside your farm. In order to prevent this, make sure that you have a biosecurity measures. You have tight biosecurity measures on your poultry farm. Do not allow farm visits. Make sure you have disinfectant inside your poultry farm. In fact, make sure that you have tight biosecurity measures on your poultry farm. That way, the chances of diseases coming into your poultry farm will be very low. And that way, your birds will be laying continuously without being disturbed. Another thing is the place or the structure or the environment that you're keeping your birds in. Yeah, make sure that the environment or the place where your birds are staying is suitable for your birds to stay in. You cannot bring your birds somewhere whereby even the laying nests are not even there. Make sure that on your poultry house you have laying nests where these birds, whenever they feel like they want to lay, they can go and then lay in the laying nest. These birds also have that a little bit of sense, whereby whenever they see a laying nest, they automatically know that this is a place to lay, and whenever I feel like I want to lay, this is where I will go. They have that one inside their minds. So make sure that you provide all these laying nests to your birds. That way your birds will lay very well. The next thing that is preventing your birds from laying is when your birds are now feeling like they want to incubate the eggs. Yeah, this also prevents your birds so much from laying. As we all know, all these birds have hormones just like any other birds. Even if the layers, the broilers, the local birds, the geese, the ducks, any kind of bird, they all have these kinds of hormones, whereby when they lay eggs, they will need to sit on these eggs. And if they are now at a period of sitting on the eggs, they will not give you eggs. Yeah, they will not give you eggs because they will produce the hormones which is now specifically for incubating the eggs. That's why you see in layer birds, the people who are doing layers, they really collect these eggs every day, like after every short time, so that these birds don't feel like incubating the eggs. The moment you leave the eggs there, these birds will now tend to sit on the eggs. And if now they sit on the eggs, that means that your birds are not going to lay anymore. Like in the local chicken, our birds over here, when they now lay like 15 eggs, and then these eggs pile up like in one laying nest, they will start sitting on that eggs, meaning that at that certain time you will not be getting any kind of eggs from these birds. Now this depends on how you are raising your birds. Like for instance, me over here, I am raising my birds with the intention of multiplying more birds on my poultry farm, which means that my birds, after laying, they need to sit on the eggs. That's obvious. But if somebody out there is doing layer birds like with the intention of selling the eggs, then should immediately pick these eggs after they are being laid. That way he or she can stop this issue of incubating the eggs with the hens. Another thing is theft. Yeah, stealing from your farm. This one also really reduces the number of the eggs that you should have on your poultry farm. And this is more especially to farmers having big number of birds. Let me say 1,000, 2,000 or 5,000. Whenever they are scattered, it is very difficult for you to exactly know the number of the birds that you're having. You may initially be having like 1,000 birds, but due to theft, let's say that they steal from your farm like 100 birds. From your mind, you may be thinking that you are still having 1,000 birds, and then you will be calculating the number of the eggs according to the number of the birds that you will be having inside your mind, which is 1,000, and yet you are having only 900 birds. So by this, you will now come to a point that my birds are now laying less eggs, and yet your birds are laying the required eggs needed for them to lay. But because of the theft that they have stolen from your farm, you are now saying that your birds are not laying. So theft also can make us think that our birds are now not giving us enough eggs. By this, make sure that you regularly count the number of birds that you're having on your poultry farm. You can say that after every 1 month, I can count my birds, so that you can exactly know that this is the number of the birds that I'm having. And on top of that, there are other things like the poultry vices which may also come in your poultry farm, like egg eating. At times a bird may lay an egg and then eats it. So you must also notice this kind of thing before judging that my birds are giving me less eggs. Make sure that you first do enough research on your birds. Maybe you are having some poultry vices in your poultry farm. So guys, if you have really enjoyed this video, I repeat, like the video, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you'll never miss out in case I upload any new video. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye bye.